Hey guys, I'm Miles today. So for today's video, I thought I'd give you guys my reaction towards World Rugby's nominees for 2021. Obviously, they were just announced yesterday, so this is kind of why I want to give you guys my reaction towards them. And yeah, there's a lot of controversy to say the least with a lot of these awards. I'm only focusing on three to be perfectly honest, because I do believe these three have the most controversy, and that's why I kind of want to give you guys my opinion on them. So starting off, of course, it is Men's Player of the Year. What a surprise! A lot of controversy within this award. Of course, here are the nominees for this. We do have the likes of Anthony Dupont, obviously for France. Michael Hooper for Australia, Mario Itoje for England, as well as Samu Kerevi for Australia. So, yeah, these nominees, I think I agree with two of them, to be perfectly honest, with Michael Hooper and Anthony Dupont. I think both of them had a great year, to be perfectly honest. I mean, Anthony Dupont, obviously, for France, they finished second within Six Nations. He was brilliant for Toulouse within his club level, so can't really argue that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, with Michael Hooper as well, I mean, he's had a brilliant year. I mean, he obviously played within Japan for this year, within club level. He had a good season, to say the least. And of course, for Australia, I mean, he was sensational, obviously, captaining Australia to win both the series within France, obviously that French series that was based within Australia. And of course, the coming second within the Rugby Championship. With that, beating the Springboks twice and Argentina twice. So, yeah, I can definitely see why he's been nominated, because he definitely deserves it. But it's the other two which I have kind of I don't know. I'm not against the nomination, but I don't think they deserve it as much as the other two. I mean, with Mario Itoje, it's one of those where I don't believe. I mean, England finished fifth. They finished fifth in the Six Nations, guys, and they also, they didn't beat South Africa, by the way, in the British and Irish Lions series, and he was obviously a part of both of them. So for that reason, I don't actually see why it's actually been nominated. I mean, I I I. I don't even think this has probably been his best year, to be perfectly honest, Mario Itoje. I think 2019 was just sensational for him. But of course, I mean, he has been nominated, so I'm not really going to argue. I mean, I guess I can have to accept that. But I think I would have gone with the likes of Hamish Watson instead of him, to be perfectly honest, because obviously Hamish Watson did get, he got the award for what was it, player of the competition, I believe, for Six Nations this year, and obviously he got selected for the British and Irish Lions. So, and that's obviously a huge achievement for him because obviously there's I'm not going to go too back into it, but it's just a huge achievement. So yeah, I believe he deserves it more than Mario Itoje, but we'll see what I mean. Yeah, you can't do much about that now, obviously. But Samu Kerevi, I mean, I don't agree with probably his nomination, but I understand why he's been selected. I mean, if you look at his kind of a club season, obviously with Sunsori Goliath, obviously, he was just sensational, obviously, for him. Like, I think he scored, like 42 points, I think, or something like that, for the club, obviously, within the Japanese top league. So, yeah, he had a great season, obviously, for them. But obviously for Australia, he made a massive impact, obviously, towards the Wallabies, you can say, season, particularly within that, within both, I believe. Was he a part of I think he was a part of the July series, if I'm not mistaken, but also for the Rugby Championship. He was just sensational, obviously. And, I always say this, that Lukhanyo Am and Damien Delunde have probably been the best centre combination this year, but he tore them to shreds. Just Samu Kerevi by himself tore them to shreds. So, for that reason, I can understand why he's been selected, but to be perfectly honest, I would have gone with the likes of Lukhanyo Am, just because I think he had a better, kind of year overall, if you structure it from a yearly perspective. I mean, he obviously was, crucial in South, obviously winning that British and Irish Lions tour as well, and then you had him obviously with the Rugby Championship again, sensational. Lukhanyo Am, he was obviously a huge impact towards the Springboks within that competition, and then of course with the Honor Nations, he still continued that. So yeah, I'm surprised that he hasn't been nominated, but yeah, it's just a bit surprising overall. But I do agree with the two, obviously the first two with Anthony Dupont as well as Michael Hooper. If I had to select my nomination, I think I would go with the likes of Michael Hooper. I just think he's overall have the better year, and the Wallabies. But I mean, a lot of people might disagree, but the Wallabies they've had a good year, guys. They've had a really good year. So yeah, that's probably the reason why I go back Michael Hooper, and of course he's the captain, and yeah, he's just been sensational for the breakdown. So yeah, I think that's probably what my nominee will be for this award. Of course, moving on to the second award, of course, which is Breakthrough Player of the Year for the men's category. We do have the likes of, obviously shown right here. We do have the likes of Will Jordan for New Zealand, Andrew Collet for Australia, Lewis Reese for Wales, as well as Marcus Smith for England. To be perfectly honest, I agree with all four of them. There's actually not a lot of controversy within this award. I just want to give you my take on the order who I would kind of place for these players. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I think all of them have had a good season, but I would probably put Andrew Killaway fourth in my list, just because he was sensational, obviously, for the Wallabies from the Rugby Championship, obviously top try scorer, but he didn't really make much of an impact within the club level for the Rebels. So for that reason, he's probably bottom of my list for this award. Next, I would probably have Lewis Reese Zammitz, and that might surprise a lot of people, but I've chosen him at third only because obviously, he was a huge part in obviously why Wales won the Six Nations, and obviously he was great obviously for the British and Irish Lions for that tour against South Africa. But it's one of those where if you're talking about from an impact point of view, did he make as much of an impact for his team within both teams compared to the likes of Will Jordan and Marcus Smith? I don't think he did. That's my opinion. Obviously, you can argue that below, but I think that's what I think. So that's the reason why I have him placed third. Second, I've actually gone with the likes of Marcus Smith because he made a massive impact for both club and country. Obviously, for the Harlequins, they obviously came back in that Premiership final and just was sensational. So I can't really argue the fact why he wasn't brilliant from a club perspective. And obviously, he did get obviously selected for the British and Irish Lions, so that was a huge success, obviously achievement for him as well. And obviously he got his debut for England obviously this year. So yeah, you have everything all together. I can definitely see why he's probably second on my list. But Will Jordan, oh my gosh, this guy is just guys. If I haven't said this already, he will be World Player of the Year one day. Straight up, it's gonna happen. Will Jordan will be World Player of the Year one day. He's just that good. His try scoring record is ridiculous for both the Crusaders and for the All Blacks. It's just sensational. Guys, just do me a favor, go watch a video of Will Jordan. He is just unbelievable. I mean, and I don't have to really say much about him because I've seen so much of him, and yeah, he's just he will one day be World Player of the Year. I'm calling it, but yeah, that's obviously why I do have him kind of winning this award for Breakthrough Player of the Year because I just believe he's just been sensational with the amount of tries he scored. But of course, we're moving on, of course, towards the last award I want to talk about for this video, which is Coach of the Year. So obviously here are the nominees. We do have the likes of Dave Reddy, of course, for Australia. We do have the likes of Simon Middleton, of course, for the women's England team. We do have the likes of Ian Foster for New Zealand, as well as we do have the likes of Alan Bunting, as well as Corey Swinley for, of course, New Zealand's women's team. So I'll be honest, I'm a bit surprised Ian Foster has been selected. I think that's probably the one kind of shock. I do believe Jack Napier for South Africa deserved a nomination. I mean, obviously it's his first season really for the Springboks, and I thought he did pretty well, to be perfectly honest. I mean, you could sit within the Rugby Championship, obviously third is not really the place you want to finish, but I mean, beating the British Irish Lions, and then obviously winning both against Wales and Scotland at the moment within the Autumn Nations, it's just, I mean, he's had a good year, so I mean, I would have nominated him ahead of Ian Foster, to be perfectly honest. But I guess Ian Foster, of course, New Zealand winning the Rugby Championship obviously has kind of made him cement that place, which I don't understand. But I personally would have not gone for him. But I do believe out of the four, I mean, by the way, I think Simon Middleton, as well as Alan Bunting and Swinney, I do believe they've had very good seasons actually from a women's perspective. I mean, by the way, New Zealand and England obviously recently have played each other, and England have destroyed them. Like, it's ridiculous. I think they've scored like the most points they ever have within these two games against New Zealand. So yeah, there's definitely something to look out for from a New Zealand point of view from a women's game, that they don't want obviously this to happen again. So really for me, I think it's really down towards Simon Middleton as well as Dave Reddy. I think that's the kind of the two I would go between. But personally, I mean, I would give it to Dave Reddy, but it's one of those where Dave Reddy personally, if you think about it, he's actually played all of his games within Australia this year. Like, most of the games he's played in Australia. And I think he's won 7 out of 13 games, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not really a good record, to be perfectly honest. When you're playing most of your games at home, well, not most of your games, but I think he's won 7 out of 13 games this year. So it's one of those where do I give him my nomination? I think I'm actually leaning towards the England coach, obviously, which is Simon Middleton, just because I think he's had a better year before the England women's team. So for that reason, I think that's why I would actually select Simon Middleton. But yeah, that's kind of it with my nominations, obviously. But yeah, guys, just let me know right now in the comments what you guys think about these three particular categories, as well as the other ones. Obviously, I haven't gone through Try of the Year and obviously the sevens. But do let me know, obviously. I mean, I might actually put a link in the description for you guys to obviously do the votes. But yeah, do let me know if you guys agree with my opinion or if you guys disagree with it. But overall, I think for the three nominees, I think for the three awards I just talked about, I think Michael Hooper deserves Player of the Year. I do believe Will Jordan deserves Breakthrough Player of the Year, and I've gone with Simon Middleton as Coach of the Year. That's probably what I've gone with. But let me know in the comments if you disagree. But anyway, just hope you guys have a good day. And of course, let you guys know very quickly, I am actually going to the England-South Africa game this week. So unfortunately, I won't be doing any live streams actually for this week. But you will also see me the week after, because I will give you guys my I guess my kind of team of the tournament, to say the least, for this Autumn Nations. But nonetheless, I'll see you next week, of course. But guys, just have a good week, and yeah, let me know in the comments right now what you guys think. And guys, like this video and subscribe, you guys. I really appreciate that, guys. But yeah, see you guys next time.